Hi, welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with a BI Rabbi. I'm Rabbi Adam Stein. I just got back from a 2-week trip with my family. It was lovely on the open seas a bit on a cruise and in Hawaii. When I came back, it was great to see so many people in the community again, be welcomed by people. One of the first things that I did when I came back is I went to the JFS, Jewish Family Services annual luncheon, the Innovators Lunch, downtown at the Hyatt Regency. It was a great event, an inspiring speaker who was there, the keynote speaker, and I got to catch up with people from the shul. Norman and Marlene Franks were there, and Bob Markin, and I was at Gaynor Levine's table. Rabbi Infeld and Esther Moses Wood were next to me. It was really a great table of BI community. But there are two things that I want to share with you about this event that really popped out and struck me as meaningful. One of them was the backdrop and the sort of the set that they made on the stage there where the speakers were. And they didn't describe it so much, or maybe I missed them describing, but I was really struck by it, and I found it very, very meaningful. It was a sort of the skyline of Vancouver, and you can tell it's Vancouver, the buildings, and especially that round building that you go up to and it goes around. I did it when I was a tourist before I moved here. And so you could tell it's the skyline of Vancouver, but in front of it was a wall, like a brick wall or a stone wall with a locked gate. And to me, it was this powerful image of how unaffordable and difficult Vancouver has become to live in, which is one of the big things that JFS works on with people who are struggling to make ends meet and to afford to live in Vancouver, whether it's about food security or rent or transportation or all sorts of things, just to be able to live here. So that image was for me quite striking. And the other thing I want to share that was powerful for me is, our Torah portions, almost always, if you look hard enough, you can find some way that it connects with what's going on in the world. And many rabbis are good at this, and our senior rabbi, Rabbi Infeld, is quite good at doing that, whether it's a Saturday morning or a Friday night, or a life cycle event, or an event somewhere like this one. And being on the board of JFS, he, in many years, at least when I've been there, has given a little invocation, sort of, an introduction to the motzi prayer over the bread, and then he does the motzi. And he pointed out that in this week's parasha, it's one of those places in the Torah where it talks about being kind to the stranger, or the orphan, or the widow. This time, it's talking about leaving the corners of your field for the poor to glean. It says, it's chapter 23, verse 22 of Leviticus, when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap all the way to the edges. You purposefully don't go all the way to the edges, and you don't even glean the gleanings of your, gather the gleanings of your harvest, the stuff that's left over, because you're supposed to leave them for the poor and the stranger. It's actually a commandment from God in the Torah to leave these little bits for the poor who don't have enough themselves. And it actually fits with the time of the year that we're in, because it's right after the descriptions in that parasha of the counting of the Omer and Pesach and Shavuot. It's what we were reading during the days of Pesach and the Torah readings. But it's a reminder that even when we have these holidays, or especially when we have these holidays, and JFS does a great job throughout the year, but especially on the holidays, of gathering money and food from the community to help provide for others in the community who are not able to have enough for themselves. But it's a reminder that especially on these holidays, we really have to think of others in the community and not just ourselves. And speaking of thinking of others, we have a special Shabbat with a Difference coming up next week. Special because not only do we have the beautiful music and great food of the dinner, but March of the Living, the program that sends teenagers to Poland and Israel each year to experience and see what these awful death camps in Auschwitz and others were like, and what the Jewish communities were like there, and then to go on to Israel around Yom Ha'atzmaut. We're going to hear from some of the participants and from Russ Klein, the principal of King David High School. So that's next Friday night. And also I want to encourage all of you to get your tickets and come to the event on June 17th. We're going to be honoring Rabbi Solomon and Phyllis, whom so many of you know for many, many years here and decades. That will be right here at Congregation Beth Israel in the evening on Monday, June 17th. So hope to see you there and at Shabbat with the Difference. Shabbat Shalom.